Alright, what's going on YouTube? We're back with another episode, and I'm sorry I've been kind of delayed on another episode of FPS-ness, but pretty much this is just an update. Um, you could kind of call it a tutorial because we could be going over some stuff that some people could consider a tutorial because of, you kind of just need help with it, so you need tutored on how to do this. So, we're going to be going over a couple things. I thought I would just cover the lighting, if you guys do like it, if you don't. But, so what there normally was up here, there would have been some two post processes, and I think one or two, directional lights. Yeah, directional lights. There have been two of these. So what I did is I deleted those and just put one directional light in. And so we can find that directional light right here. And so it doesn't really matter where you put it. I can put it wherever. You can see, here, you can watch for the preview words if you kind of see them moving. It changes that, but other than that, nothing really actually changes uh, through anything. It's kind of useless, in my opinion, where the lighting actually is located. But that doesn't matter. So just plop it in your world. I'll show you guys the settings that I have, I suppose. So my music is glitching out. Anyways, you guys can't hear it. That's on purpose. Anyways, so I have about 7.5 intensity. You can mess around with that, of course, for what you want. But I felt like 7.5 was kind of good. It was pretty bright summer day, and I liked the way it looked on the inside of my little area here. Um, and then I didn't use temperature. You can. That just adds a tint to it. So like if you wanted like a Mars kind of a, it just gives the feeling of kind of temperature. If you're doing different worlds, sure you could do that. This I feel like the colder temperature doesn't give as cold of a. It kind of is cold, but I mean it's not really that much. And then if you uncheck it, it should reset it back to default. I think so. I think it was at 16 or whoa, not 16. That's way low. I wonder what one looks like. -9. -999. It doesn't even go any lower than that. But dang, that's pretty intense. Anyways, I think where was it? I think it was about here. That's normal, right? Compared to everything, yeah. All right, we'll just do 6,000. All right, no temperature. Um, but yeah, of course it wants to affect the world, cast shadows, indirect lighting. Now I don't know exactly what that does, but I maxed it out. I wanted light shafts. You can turn that off if you want. That's just the kind of here, let's see if I can find somewhere that'll give me that effect. I don't know if I can. I should be able to. Um I don't know, it's difficult to find somewhere that actually utilizes the light shafts, but anyways, oh, is that turn off bloom? Yeah, there's bloom as well if you don't want that. You can mess around with all those settings. I do use area shadow. I think that helps with more accurate shadows. I'm not 100% sure, but these are kind of just settings that I messed around with. I maxed out dynamic shadows because I wanted them dynamic. I wanted as many dynamic shadows as possible. And then just normal, you can change if you have your own ambient occlusion or something. Sure. And then that's pretty much anything I did on the lighting. I did something different with the crosshair. Um, so with the crosshair, you probably saw it previously. Uh, that it was kind of, oh, it's offset now. My crosshair's a bit offset, but you probably saw it previously that it was a little image that was pretty shaky. Now this isn't as shaky, even though it is, but that's just because of the camera. Um, that's because of the camera shake, I think, that does that. But there's not too much you can do to fix that. Not that I can find. But pretty much how I did that was on the crosshair HUD. I excuse me. I took it and I deleted everything and just made that the crosshair, or made the entirety of the world just the crosshair image. So you can just smack that in there and have that. And then on the bro dude, I just parented the crosshair to the health HUD, I believe. You can do that to the camera, you can do that to the health HUD. If you did it to the spring arm, I think it would lag behind, but I'm not positive. One, oh right, it doesn't have the same lock rot scale and everything. That was, I forgot that that was the trouble why I didn't put it at the spring arm, is because it did that problem. It did have that problem of not working properly. But to get it into the camera, I'm having difficulty. I don't know. Anyways, it doesn't matter. You could probably just smack that under health ammo, and that would locate it properly if I did that. Hold up. Let's go back. By the way, how I had it centered on the camera was you drag it under the camera, like that. Dang it. You drag it under the camera, right? And you zero out the location. And I have the scale pretty low because if you have it 1, it makes a pretty large uh, uh, crosshair in the middle of your screen. So it's pretty beneficial to have a um, smaller scale, so just 0.12, and just drag it in front just a little bit, because otherwise you won't be able to see it. And so that's how I did that. But if I put that under the health HUD, I doubt this will work. I really do, but we'll just have to see. Save that up, because even though I haven't changed anything, I still like to save it. Um, I've done a lot. I'm working on some stuff with the gun. Um, Nothing that you can see quite yet because I have not implemented it. Yeah, it's just not showing up. I mean, yeah, I don't even know if that's where it's at. Dang. Yeah, that's gonna be pretty. That's gonna be too much to do, but that's the best I can do with that. And honestly, I would like to lock lock these, but it won't let me lock them just because. I mean, it's letting me lock the scale, but that's just to scale it all up. I would like it to lock the, I think, vertical movement. So what would that be? I want to lock the vertical movement, so I'd probably lock the X or Y. I'd want to lock the Y because it wobbles up and down. That was the old crosshair I had. I just had a billboard there, but I'm working on a better crosshair. I don't understand. I don't know. But some also cool things that I added is, if you guys remember, well, let's see. Right. Okay. So what was happening, was if I would be inside this, and it would be destroying the bullets. I wouldn't be able to shoot while I was inside the collision bounds. I mean, it would be destroying the collision bounds of anything. So I mean, now I can shoot inside. Uh, I can shoot while I'm in the collision bounds of this and all that. Before I could not do that. But how I fixed that was pretty simple. I can shoot through the door and stuff now, all that. How I fixed that was pretty simple, and I had been meaning to do this. Um, was I did channels. So if you guys don't know what those are pretty much our collision channels. I edited the collision channels. So pretty much what those are different kind of wavelengths or gates or acceptances for collision. So it pretty much tells gives more options and labels. So if you guys, I mean, I know you guys have seen them before. All of these. If you guys paid attention, you could probably see I had character, projectile, and interaction in there, which aren't normally there. That's because I added those. Also, if I go to collision presets, I added interaction and projectile for other presets because I wanted those. And then I also added object types as character, projectile, or interaction, which I wanted. Excuse me, because if I add character, that whatever this is would be these. So you can see everything that's here is here because it's here because it's labeling. So it's labeling this is what I am and this is what I'm going to ignore, overlap, or block collision wise. And then of course you can change your collision, but since I'm on the crosshair, I just want world static. But for my personal bro, I'd want he's a character, okay? And then I would want for this, once again, I would want okay, he's a character. Now pawn is pretty like general. Pawn I would probably have for like most anything that I could control. That would be a generalization, but since he's like an actual character that I'm going to be using, that's what I would put him under. And how you create those once again are in your settings through collision. And so here I'll kind of tell you what is what. So I'll be switching back and forth between here. So here's your presets, and how you create these are down here in, of course, the presets. So you just create a new, and the ones with the gears are the ones that are already built in to Unreal Engine. The ones with the little clocks are ones that you've made personally. So I'll open them up, and you can just automatically set. You're setting a preset, so you're have to set it. So you can set all the normal options that you could set if you were in, say, just creating a custom preset like you can here. And so with that, it's really nice because I like to be able to do that and just say, okay, well, let's plop that on there. And once again, that's really nice because I can just automatically put the preset on there, and in the preset tell it it's an interaction. Same thing with the projectile. That's really nice. And how we add those object types are up here in the object channels. So you can add a new channel, and it's way simpler here. You can just tell what its default is. So obviously we're not going to want to not we have to be inside an interaction zone to be able to interact. So we don't want to block for interaction. We want to overlap. We want to go through it. So that way there is so that way it's telling that we are hitting it. But say we're doing something else like air, like say we had a mist or a fog, and we just wanted it to be there, but we wanted a collision for some reason. We would have that, or have an object type for it. We would just say, okay, ignore because it's fog. We don't want that colliding for anything. That's how you do that. And then the trace channels, I believe, are these right here. So if I add a new trace channel, I can just call this YouTube, 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 and we can block that. And then if I go over, why isn't it scrolling? That's trippy. Oh, there we go. Now it's scrolling. If I go here, oh wait, no. There we go. I think I had a refresh. Wait, maybe if I reopen it, it'll show my collision. No, is that not it? I thought I thought that's what the trace channels were. I guess not. Oh, that's it. It's right here. The trace responses. Now, I don't actually understand what these are, because visibility and cameras always had them, and I've always just put them to ignore because I don't know why a camera or visibility needs to really. Yeah, I never understood it. Um, so yeah, here it doesn't explain what trace channels are. Um, but if you guys want them and wanted to know how to add more than the just visual and camera, and yeah, that's how you do that. So that's really cool. And I knew you could do that, but I just never got around to it. And one day I'm like, oh yeah, I wanted to fix all the projectile stuff and that. So that's how we can get it. That's also how we can get different stuff to work better. So like say we had and we're going to do this in a new episode, but we're going to have more accurate hitboxes. So we would have like this ignore projectiles, okay? Think about that. It's going to ignore projectiles because we're going to have collisions on like the arms and all that those are going to be what are accepting projectiles and blocking them and receiving our damage. So with that, that's how you can be more specific with stuff. um, Once again, all the collision stuff, because before the projectile, and I'll show you if you get before the projectile, just anything it hit, anything it would overlap with the collision of the static mesh, it would just immediately destroy the actor. So that's why we couldn't shoot inside or through interaction zones. So of course, how you fix that is you just have use the preset that I have and have interaction on there. But you have to make sure that what you're using here, the bubble, the interaction bubble, is on the interaction presets. That way it's also ignoring other interactions and projectiles. So that's really nice. Those are just some updates that I had. I think that's pretty much it. That was just some stuff that I wanted to go over, and I thought it was pretty cool. Um, and I didn't want to just make an entire like tutorial episode on doing it all over again. I just wanted to be like, hey, here's some stuff that I've done and kind of just random stuff that I could compact into one episode. So if you guys would rather me do update episodes like this for groups of small stuff instead of doing like, here's an episode on how to do this, here's an episode on how to do that, I could do that, or I could just do like a mini series or something. I don't know. But yeah, that'll be all for this episode. I really hope you guys did enjoy. Please check out my other tutorials. I have tutorial on how to make a flying series, which I'm working on some cool stuff for that. I hope it will be out within at least a week, since I've got break and I've got some free time. I would like it to come out in less time, but I don't know how long it's going to take. So no spoilers, but I think you guys will enjoy it. Also, if you guys can help with multiplayer on this, that'd be awesome. And any other suggestions for this, that'd be cool. Also, my RPG series is on my channel. I am starting that, and I've got like 4 episodes. I think episode 4 is uploading right now. I'm gonna be recording episode 5 sooner or later. So that's going along real well. And once again, sorry for the delay. So really hope you guys did enjoy, and I'll see you guys in the next one.